Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome YouTube and Nation to another Wrath Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. So happy to be up to 70 subscribers. Don't forget, we get to 100. We are having a giveaway, so we're almost there. So tell your friends, tell your family to go ahead and subscribe. But don't just subscribe. Make sure you watch the videos as well. We don't just want subscribers. We want subscribers and viewers. My wife has a lot of things in mind that she wants to do later on down the line as the channel starts to grow. Today, we're going to be talking about WWE Fastlane. But before we get into that, it's time for today's dad joke. And today's dad joke is really a dad joke, but I think it's funny. Why do melons get married? Because they can't elope. Now, I know that is the daddest of all dad jokes, but to me, that's funny. Melons get married because they can't elope. Now, on to WWE Fastlane. Later on this week, we're going to be talking about the NASCAR race at Atlanta over the weekend, and we're also going to be doing another top 10 video. Last week we did top 10 snacks. I'm not sure if we'll do top 10 movies this week or top 10 songs, but we'll do something. Still have yet to decide exactly what it will be. If you have any ideas on what you would like to talk about for a top 10, please feel free to comment at any time. But over the weekend, WWE had Fastlane, which is the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania, and really nothing unexpected to me happened, except for they did change the main event of WrestleMania after Fastlane. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into Fastlane. On the pre-show, Riddle beat Mustafa Ali to retain the U.S. belt. Really, all that was a way to break up Retribution, which was the biggest waste of a faction I've ever seen. Now, if you've been watching for a while, you know when Retribution debuted, there was about 15 to 20 of them when it started, and they were on Raw and SmackDown. Then all of a sudden, without no reasoning, they just took them off of SmackDown and had them only on Raw. And then when they finally debuted who they were, they decided to make Ali the leader. And then one of the females decided that she didn't want to be in the factions. They took her off for no reason. She was just gone. And ever since then, Retribution hasn't really done a whole lot. Well, last night, after Riddle beat Ali, Retribution seemingly broke up. Mace and T-Bar did their finisher on Ali and left the ring. So I'm assuming that's the end of Retribution. On the main card, the opening match was Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler retaining the women's tag team belts over Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And after the match, Sasha and Bianca kind of had a small spat, which is leading to their match that'll be coming up at WrestleMania. And then Big E beat Apollo Crews to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Now, me personally, with Apollo Crews' new gimmick and his new henchman, his name should just be Apollo, and his little henchman should be Apollo's Crew. I think that would be a great idea. Match 3, Braun Strowman beat Elias. It was originally supposed to be Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon, but Shane is injured, so it was Braun Strowman and Elias. I've always liked Elias, but they've continued to do absolutely nothing with him, but he's good at what he does and makes himself look good and makes others look good. But I've always been a big fan of Elias and wanted him to do something more besides what he's doing. Match 4, Seth Rollins beat Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a excellent match, but what else do you expect with Rollins and Nakamura in the ring? Match 5, Drew McIntyre beat Sheamus in a no-holds-barred match. Another excellent, brutal match. Match 6 was Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton, but we know they don't really have a lot of intergender matches. All that was their way to bring back Bray Wyatt, who's now even darker since he got burned alive by Randy Orton late last year. So they're building up WrestleMania with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. And then in the main event, Roman Reigns retained the Universal Championship by beating Daniel Bryan. Edge walked out. They had to get a new referee in the ring. Roman Reigns won. So I thought WrestleMania was going to just be Roman Reigns versus Edge, but it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. So maybe we'll see Daniel Bryan get one more title run before he decides to hang it up. But I'd also like to see Edge get one more title run, being that he is 47 years old and we don't know how many more matches or years he has left in him. So if you're a wrestling fan or know someone who is, please feel free to tell them to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and leave their comments on what they thought about Fastlane and what they think about WWE going forward, heading toward WrestleMania. And on a side note, Andrade was released. He asked for his release earlier in the week, and they finally granted his release. Now, I know a lot of times people want to hate WWE for releasing these guys, but on this instance, I really can't blame them because they actually tried to push him 3-4 different times, and for whatever reason, the fans just never got behind him no matter what he was doing. Just nobody ever cared. Then he failed that drug test and got suspended, and he ain't been on TV since October. So I can't blame the guy for asking for a release, but I can't blame WWE for not doing anything with him because they've tried and just nothing has seemed to work. So Andrade did get his release, in case you didn't know that. I'm sure we'll see him in AEW or TNA or somewhere like that down the road in 5 or 6 months. But until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.